Hey guys, Prince of Macedon here. I'm gonna show you a live footage ladder battle where the commentary is not live, just the footage is live. This will all be post commentary. So my opponent's name is MajorKönig. He'll be commanding the vampire accounts, and I'll be commanding the old world empire. And instead of bringing witch hunters this time, I decided to bring a light wizard who has a lot more mobility since he can mount units. And he also has a better range with his gaze magic missile attack. So it'd be useful for keeping Manfred away and not letting him get too close like the witch hunters will allow for. So no witch hunters this time. Anyhow, this is that odd looking map. It's like some kind of burial ground, but as you can see, those little mounds on the side look like nipples, so it's kind of a map that gives me mixed thoughts on it. It looks pretty, but maybe a little awkward as well. Anyways, I'm going to list the army compositions on the screen so that you can just read them off. But while you're waiting, I can just tell you mine. I have Karl Franz, and he is going to be on a horse. I have a light wizard also on a horse. I have 4 halberdiers, 4 greatswords, and 2 demigryph halberd units. And again, just want to remind you, this footage is live, but the commentary is not live. I think you guys benefit more from these live footage videos because then you can see what's going on. You can see what I'm ordering around, and you have a better view of the battlefield. Because when I'll still show the replay videos as well, but they're a lot harder to follow because when I show you the replays, I'm usually focusing on close-ups. But with these live battles, you can see exactly what I'm doing, and I usually fight from an overhead perspective. Unless I'm trying to show off some close-ups. Alright, so the time is ticking now, and we will see MajorKönig's army very soon. But yeah, usually I'll bring witch hunters in order to fight the vampire counts, Manfred plus vampire hero units. But the problem with witch hunters is, as I said, you can't mount any units, so they're not mobile, and their heresy spell takes forever to recharge, and the range is horrible. Anyways, there's my opponent's army. His vampire army has Manfred, 2 zombies, 7 skeleton warriors, 3 grave guards, 5 Karen Wraiths, and 2 crypt horrors. Those crypt horrors can pack quite the punch, and those grave guards are no pushover either. Plus the 5 Karen Wraiths, who are going to be very difficult. So yeah, I left my demigryphs on the left, and they are hidden. Well, one of them is. Just want to protect my flanks. I feel like those nipples can protect my flanks for a bit, but when I really need my flanks protected, at least my left flank protected, I'm going to use my demigryphs. And if not, I can just launch them down for a surprise attack from the rear. Anyways, I see those zombies coming and also those skeletons. So I'm going to send in my greatswords. I'm going to start the battle with a spoiler attack. And I see those zombies right there. I'm like, oh, should I just charge them down? They're not really supported right now. At least that's what I saw. So I see some Karen Wraiths coming around my flank, so I have to use Karl Franz to tie down that Karen Wraith unit by itself, because I need my halberds to protect my front line on the right. And you can see I'm using my light wizard now to shoot gaze over at Manfred. Basically casting some shade on him. And yeah, I don't like using my Karl Franz to hold down a unit by himself. I feel like it's a waste of his time. But here I don't really have any choice. I need him to protect the rear. So there's another gaze attack on Manfred. And again, Manfred can heal himself with the invocation. Here's another gaze attack. Look at that. That shot was powerful. So the damage can be random sometimes, as you just saw. The problem with that Manfred unit is it can't heal itself, and also the Spirit Leech and Unit are quite powerful. There's hardly a... the cooldown period is really quick. And you can't really miss with those spells. You can't miss at all, actually. So look, he has used Invocation to charge Manfred back up to health. Look at that. So anyways, did a hammer nail strike on the left flank of my opponent. Used my demogriffs to hit him from behind. And I brought Manfred back down to, what, 20% almost? But he just casted, I think it might have been Bayuna on one of my units. Because I don't see Carl or my Light Wizard going down in health. But look at Manfred in the back, look at his health, that's the way I want him. And I just want to keep him away from launching Bayuna, Spirit Leech. So I think in that regard I have succeeded. And look at Manfred in the back. Do you see him? Do you see him? You watching? You watching? Keep watching. He is gonna go down right about now. There you go. No more Manfred. Bam. So good. But guess what, guys? This battle is still far from over. Those vampire units are gonna fight pretty long, actually. But at least we took Manfred out of the equation, so he can't heal himself. He can't launch Bayuna anymore. And I don't have to fear for my general's lives because Manfred was the only Spirit Leech unit that he had. He didn't bring a vampire hero. Anyway, it's going to launch another rear charge with my demogriffs on that big bulk of vampire units on the left. Yeah, he has a Cryptor over that side, and probably some Karen Race, perhaps some skeletons, maybe a Graveguard. I'm not sure if the Graveguard's on the left. But don't worry, guys, I will show close-up battles as well with the replays, but I think for a battle this close, I think you want to see it from the overhead. You can see how I'm commanding my troops, and you can see the overhead where it's a lot easier to understand. Anyhow, gonna bring in my wizard here. Going to buff some of my units right there. And he did break down my right flank, but I still have Karl Franz right there. But yeah, he is victorious on the right, so that was a huge cause of concern, because those troops on the right can now reinforce his middle, his center, and just destroy my center. Very well. So I decide to pull. Well, I'm going to try to get Karl Franz out of there, so he can tie down those units on the right. See that? Now I'm going to launch a spell that's not really used against multiple units. I launched the single attack spell, the Gaze, and I mean that's used for attacking single units, not groups of them, but I just wanted to get his attention. Anyways, so I didn't need to free Karl Franz because he sent those right flank units to Karl Franz. He wants to kill my general too, but at least I'm keeping them from reinforcing the center. He did send a Canwraith unit out there, but at least he didn't send all of them out there, because that would have been an instant rout on my center, and then I would have been so screwed. So I'm going to keep my wizard alive for a bit. And it's desperate. As you see, I sent in my wizard to launch a rear charge. He is not really made for melee combat, but this is a desperate battle. See that center? If he takes that center and the right, which he already taken the right, then I'm just toast. So I gotta use my wizard to do it dirty on the ground. But now the balance bar is looking a lot more favorable now. Still, it's not good to see your center shatter with that many vampire units around there. But I'm taking out the right with my demogriffs in conjunction with my lord and also some great swords who came back. So I got to attack that center, tie down his units, and I did keep my wizard alive. So he decides to take his victorious center troops and go to the right where my general is. So I think he wants a piece of my general, my lord. But you know, if he did go for the left, that would have freed up his units on the left too. So I think the left attack might have been a bit more optimal for him. But I don't know. It's hard to say in hindsight. Doesn't always work that way when you're actually fighting the battle. My rule is definitely absolute. Those damn Karen Rays, man, they are quite the bugger. If you'll notice, most of those units remaining for MajorKönig's army are Karen Rays. He has some, zombies. And I don't know what that other sword unit is. I can't tell. I think they're Graveguards. I can't tell from here. Alright, so battle is winding down. They all pop. Bam! So definitely taking out Manfred was very important for that. And then just sticking with it. But as you saw, Manfred could heal himself. He did it quite a few times, and he could launch Bayuna, which he did. And again, no vampire survivors. Anyway, I fought this battle last week, so this is my ladder score last week. Anyways, good game to my opponent. Hope you guys enjoyed this ladder battle.